Alright guys, let's jump back down into the world of XRP, reviewing the price action and where things are potentially going, at least in my humble opinion. Now, I'm not a financial advisor, I can't give financial advice. All I can do is give you my thoughts and opinions on the data in the charts as I personally see it. And things are looking juicy for XRP. So let's jump down into this one and take a look. So here we have Bitcoin paired up with USDT on the 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗔𝗥𝗘 exchange, 1 hour time frame, and we had a break to the upside as we were kind of looking for and expecting over the last few days, right? So if you're keeping up to date with all the videos that we're doing, then you know that I'm expecting a move down towards the 60 cent range, but we're also, before that was going to happen, expecting this move to the upside. So let's go ahead and just review where that was, right? So we can see here on our chart that we were looking at the range between 78.63 and 82.82 to complete our a Z wave structure. However, things have changed here quite a bit, and I actually think that our move down towards our 60 cent range is starting to look less and less likely, but still technically is possible. Okay, so I just want to kind of run a few additional ideas out there at the moment, because structures are potentially in some interesting spots. So it could be coincidental that we tapped into our range here, and I say could be coincidental, it's just that we've moved down here in an interesting pattern. It more now looks like 3 waves rather than the W, X, Y, X, and Z structure that we first thought it was going to be, and therefore we can actually think about moving up just a fraction further. And again, you know, this doesn't actually invalidate the idea that we go down yet. It just means that we have to push up a little bit further within our B wave. And B waves are very, very tricky. It can be so many different types of patterns. It's hard to get a good read on them. But it does look like our B wave now has to move up towards 84.15 to 87.53. Okay, that will limit our C wave pattern ever so slightly. Okay. So we'll measure that one out as well. So let's go ahead and just remove this fib. So our new low range target, if we kind of tap into this one, and I'll put it on the high side to give us a conservative low, would be between, yeah, it still falls within that range, guys. So it's not too much of a change. It's basically between 57.56 and 62.35 at the moment, this little yellow box down here. So that'll be us running at 87 cent and then dropping down to essentially 57 cent. So that might sound like craziness to many people, but the structures are the structures, and it doesn't look like we're going to see settlement anytime soon either. That's a couple of months out. So for the most part, our expectations are probably going to be that we will see this move upwards, and then we'll probably see this break to the downside as profits get taken again. Now, this is an area up here of supply, right? And so it's important that we understand that as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and move that over there for a second and ping this up here. This entire yellow box area that I've just drawn is another area that we had previously seen a lot of selling pressure occurring in. It's between 82.14 and the higher range of 93.8. Okay, now in here is where I'm expecting reversal to occur. It's not a coincidence that this is where loads of sellers are, and it's no coincidence that our B wave is going to be tapping into that range. Okay, and likewise there'll be loads of demand down here. So for the most part, that's kind of where I think XRP is likely to kind of see rejection. I think we've still got some more room to the upside, and I think that move to the upside is likely to be met with resistance and supply up here in that range between 84 and 87 cent. We'll then start to see a bigger move to the downside where those profits are then being taken. Now, from our kind of larger time frame, you can see that we did hit into our C wave expectations, and the move to come down here is a part of a much healthier daily correction, right? All we're talking about is coming down into that healthy corrective range. Now, we can obviously talk about maybe coming down a little bit deeper, more towards the supply range that we had seen previously, just looking to turn it into a support range essentially. So that is something that we need to consider, but we'll talk more about that as time progresses here. But for now, we can see this is the area where we were expecting things to go. It's kind of gone there, and our next expectation should be that things just move move on down as a nice healthy correction to the downside occurs. Profits ultimately need to be taken, and I think this is a bit of a trader's paradise at the moment, because yes, XRP has clarity in the US that it is not a security, and there's lots of things bubbling on around this, right? Lots of people now calling 𝗕𝗔𝗠𝗠𝗘𝗥𝗦's attack on the crypto industry and saying that, you know, they're not securities. It's time to stop the assault. And of course, you know, people are calling for Gary's head on the chopping block as well, and so be that. I think that is something that we should see. But I think, you know, Jay Clayton, 𝗕𝗓𝗪, they should be doing jail time for the damage that they've done to retail investors. They haven't helped retail investors. They have only actually hurt retail investors in the sums of billions of dollars. And this kind of behavior should be met by you know, prison time, in my opinion. But that's political, I guess. When it comes to XRP's case, I think it's going to, we've seen documents flying around about if settlement was to kind of occur, then they need to book in a conference to discuss such a thing, and then it has to be booked about 6 to 8 weeks in advance. So we'll know about that kind of stuff. It's not just going to happen, I think, you know, within the next 1 week or anything like that. That essentially has to be booked in advance. So there's going to be some timing issues and stuff like that. So I think a lot of people will start to realize that this isn't the moment for XRP, at least not yet. It's great news. It can be listed on exchanges, and it's great that we can see things kind of progression, but I think that time is a little bit later. That means that we're going to see some cooling off period, we're going to see some accumulation, and we'll then see bigger moves to the upside at a later date. Guys, I'm going to leave the video there. I'm still a little bit under the weather, so hopefully you found this useful and informative. If you did, smash the like button. If you're new, subscribe. And guys, I'll catch you all in the next one.
We are not financial advisors, and none of what we have communicated verbally or in writing here should be considered as financial advice. It is not. Do your own research before investing in any digital asset or affiliate offers, and understand that investing in any crypto is risky. If you do, you need to be prepared to lose your entire investment. This video is for information and entertainment purposes only. All our videos are strictly personal opinions. Please make sure you do your own research and never take our opinions for financial guidance. There are multiple strategies, and not all strategies fit all people. Our videos are not financial advice.